All right, guys, so right here, I took this 3-day bag of Amazon-only products up into the mountains to test out everything inside. Some things worked, some things didn't. I'm gonna show you what worked, what failed, and what I'm gonna upgrade next. Now, if you're watching this part 2, yes, I survived the several days out in the woods. Overnight, it got down to a real feel of 14 degrees, very cold, so a very good test of all these products. Let's get into it. First up, let's talk about the actual pack. This is a 22-liter Water Buffalo hydration backpack. It was pretty solid. The construction is very good, and a lot of extra compartments. It just wasn't big enough. I would replace this with a 30 or 35 liter bag. Not bad for 24 hours or 48 hours, but I will upgrade it. All right, next up, poncho. Super cheap, lightweight. I actually liked it a lot. It worked well. It was pretty durable. Walked through a lot of pointy sticks through the woods while I was chopping wood. Kept me dry. I used it to block wind in my shelter. I would keep this. You could upgrade to a bigger or better one, but this could work. The Zuby Live sleeping pad. It didn't work at all. I blew it up and then it deflated on me and then it was useless for the rest of the trip. Okay, so updates, I think the sleeping pad is deflating, which is not good. That means there's a hole in it somewhere. Going to replace this with an actual foam, like a Thermarest foam sleeping pad at a minimum. Any air mattress can pop on you and you have to understand that's the risk reward you're gonna take. So I'm gonna upgrade to a foam sleeping pad, potentially a higher quality sleeping pad as well. Next up is the emergency sleeping bag by Don't Die in the Woods. This is gonna be interesting. Holy shit. This is so thin. This is my little sleeping bag. It's a Mylar sleeping bag. Pros and cons. Pros, very durable. I actually got in and out of this a lot of times. It did not rip. I thought it was going to. It did keep me somewhat warm when I was next to the fire. Very lightweight, easy to pack up. Con, I got condensation inside this while I was inside of it. It wasn't enough insulation to keep you warm. I didn't expect it to. The real feel while I was out there got down to 14 degrees. All I had was this and a fire. You need to have something else like a sleeping bag or a whoopee inside this if you're gonna survive. Overall verdict, if you're somewhere where it's not gonna freeze, it could work. If it's freezing temperatures, you need something else to combine with this. GRAYL bottle, one of the best water filters you can get. Unfortunately, it was freezing outside. I couldn't use it because it'll damage the filter. For water, I had to boil all my water in this Stanley cup. It's lightweight, easy to use, relatively cheap. I just wish it had some type of a handle that you could actually hang it from. I had to hang it off of a tripod to keep boiling water when the jet boil died. And what happened was it would just tilt and do this. Not ideal. Pocket MSR stove. This thing came in very handy, worked great. Verdict, very handy. You can keep it inside your cooking pots. I would keep it. Next is the jet boil fuel. It worked pretty well, fit in the cooking container, but I only got a few boils out of it and then it kind of died on me. So if you're in cold weather, pack 2 of these. Nalgene bottle, great source of emergency water. I was able to add boiling water to this and keep it in my emergency sleep system. Keep me warm. These things are cheap, very durable. Got a little clue close to the fire and grew a boob, but besides for that, still rock solid and never broke. I upgraded to the exact same thing, so I just replaced it with the exact same thing. This is a must-have. The Rex Betty handsaw. This is one of the things I use the most out there. For the price, I got a lot of use out of this in just that one trip. Cut down a lot of trees, a lot of firewood. This is one of the must-have things from this trip just because it got so cold and I was able to keep my firewood flowing and keep that fire going because I had one of these things. Very handy. Initially, I said it was too long. It was the perfect size, 11-inch. Definitely keep this. Next up, Fiskars X7 hatchet was able to cut a lot of limbs off of trees as well as help build and construct shelters. So very handy. You can go a little bit shorter if you want, but I would definitely keep this. Next up is the Mora knife. This is their companion. I didn't use it as much. I was using the axe and the handsaw the most, but it was handy cutting 550 cord when I was building that shelter. Verdict, definitely keep. Moving on to fire starters, the Bigfoot Bushcraft, these little fire plugs, they actually worked really well. I use that all the time, that with the lighter. That's all I used for the fires while I was out there. Didn't need anything else. I would definitely keep it. Okay, so we're gonna light that. All right, there we go. So, let it start catching. I'm gonna do a little log cabin type thing going on here. So from here, I'm going to start adding some of the bigger stuff that I've already cut. Next up, we have the MK Outdoors little torch lighter. These things worked great. Verdict, I would keep this in the emergency bag. Very lightweight, cheap, and they work great. Next up is the Nest Out Outdoor Battery Power Bank. This thing came in pretty handy. I like that it was waterproof, dustproof, because it got really dirty out there. I got 2 full charges on the iPhone 17, so it worked well. After that, it was dead. I've had better performing batteries, but I like it because it's dustproof and waterproof. Verdict, I'd probably keep this, but I don't know if I'd keep it in a car that's cold all the time. It'll drain that battery pretty quick. I did use this to send out text messages when I didn't have any service on my phone. Very handy, could be life-saving, definitely keep this. Next up, Petzl headlamp. This thing I was wearing all the time. I had it on my body the entire time. It was very, very important, especially when it started getting dark. Batteries did start to die on day 3, but I was using it a lot, especially at night. These things are cheap, pretty durable. I would definitely keep this. Now we're talking food, the SOS emergency rations. They come with 9 bars in here. Each bar is 450 calories. You don't need to boil water. You don't need anything to cook this. You just eat it. That's why I like it. These packages last a long time. These are actually pretty good tasting. Verdict, I would definitely keep this in your emergency bag. Mountain House meals, I don't have them because I ate them. But they tasted great, very lightweight. Does require water to cook.
Smells good. Tell you what. Now I've had these before. I've eaten these before. This is the same as when I would get them in our cold weather MREs. They were Mountain House. They were just packaged differently. So this whole bag is going to give me about 600 calories. I have 400 calories, so that's 1,000 calories for breakfast. Like I said, you're going to need a lot of calories to survive.
Overall verdict, I would keep them. Next up, cold weather MREs. These things come packed with all kinds of good stuff. They're a little bit expensive, but I was able to repurpose this bag and use it to collect snow. And besides the main meal, it comes with tons of snacks, different things like coffee, spoons. Verdict, I would definitely keep one of these in the bag. Mount Hagen instant coffees, tasted great. Was very nice to have a hot cup of coffee when it was freezing out, and they're not that expensive. Definitely keep these. So those are the main things I use. There's a lot of things that I didn't end up using. Let's check those out. Didn't end up using the life straw. It was just too cold. Didn't use the GRAYL. Again, it was too cold. I didn't want the filters to freeze. Didn't use the Survivor cord with all the different cool things in it. I used regular 550 cord. Medical, thank God I didn't have to use this. I only had a small cut, but I didn't have to use any of this stuff. Whistle, didn't use a whistle, but this lanyard is reflective, so that's kind of cool. Didn't use the iodine pills. I just boiled all the water anyways, so. Fossack weather radio, I didn't really use this at all. I was just too busy doing stuff. So what products worked best? Honestly, this poncho worked very well. For the price, I was very surprised at the quality and the durability of it. It was very durable. It took a lot of pokes from a lot of sharp trees, and I was still able to use it all trip long. It kept me dry when it was snowing out. Honestly, not bad. It's the Unused. Next up, the Petzl headlamp. Without this, I would have been screwed out there. This was one of the most vital things, and I didn't realize it till about halfway through the trip. I'm like, this was a very, very important piece of kit. Definitely include this in your bag. Next thing will be the handsaw. Honestly, I use the handsaw the most. If there was only one tool I could have brought, it probably would have been the handsaw, because you can cut down trees way more efficiently than using a hatchet, and I ended up using it most of the time. And cutting wood is going to be vital if you need a fire or to build a shelter. I have more expensive Japanese-made handsaws, but honestly, this worked really good, so I would recommend it 100%. I also use the hatchet a lot as well. Came in very handy when trying to build shelters. I would definitely keep this in your pack. The Nalgene was also crucial for this pack. It provided me with emergency water straight out of the gate. I didn't have to look for water right away. I had 32 ounces of drinkable water right away. And I was able to use it to put hot water into to keep me warm at night inside that bag. So a lot of uses. This is one thing you definitely want to have. Fire starter and lighter combo came in very handy. I had to boil water really quick, and I was able to get a fire going within minutes. This thing worked every single time. I'd highly recommend it. Power bank, also critical. This thing kept my phone going. It kept all my electronics going. And that was crucial for filming, but it'd be crucial in an emergency situation as well. And honestly, the SOS bars, yeah, the Mountain House meals were fantastic and it was great to have hot food, but this required no water and no cooking. So I can get instant food without having to boil water, take that time and energy to do all that, and it just provides good tasting energy. So what disappointed me or let me down? This Mylar sleeping bag, honestly, it could have worked for warmer weather, and if it wasn't about feeling like 14 degrees out, maybe it would have worked better. It did keep me somewhat warm and out of the wind. You need some other type of insulation, otherwise you're gonna freeze. Another big letdown was my inflatable sleeping pad from Zuby's Lives. As you know, the sleeping bag is dead, so we've got a lot of pine boughs underneath there. Now, as great and lightweight as an inflatable pad can be, you run the risk of fire burning holes through it. So after years of it working for me, it critically failed when I needed it the most. I was pretty cold then because I didn't have a sleeping pad. So in part 3, I'm going to rebuild a bag with gear that I would actually trust in an emergency situation. Some things like a bigger bag, better sleep system. So subscribe and stay tuned if you want to see that next video.